We need to develop a lot of confidence and skills to paint loose watercolors. I have created a couple of videos already on how to practice loose watercolors, and this is a continuation of that. During this practice, we will go for a casual, loose kind of approach. I will explain the entire process throughout this video, and without wasting any time, let us begin the tutorial. Here I have used a 300 GSM cold pressed watercolor paper, 100% cotton. You can use any good quality watercolor papers or cartridge paper for this. The surface should take watercolors pretty well. That is the only requirement. Okay. So I'm starting with drawing an auto rickshaw, and it's an Indian small public transport. If you are not aware of it, you can browse for that. It is kind of a boxy form. I'm drawing this. I'm showing this drawing in real time. I'm drawing it a little slowly this time so that you can follow the drawing process as well. I made kind of a boxy form for the shape of it, and then I am adding a little bit more details like the wheels, the headlamps and other things. And this may not be the precise one, but this is just from memory I am drawing. And if you want a precise drawing, you can always look at a reference photograph. And the idea is to build up other context once this auto is done. Okay. This is kind of this drawing is sort of drawing from memory. I have seen this kind of subjects in the past. Maybe I have drawn also. So right now this is kind of a drawing from memory. And here I am making a kind of a sheet above, maybe some kind of an awning or some kind of a sheet sort of thing. And there will be a couple of people doing some business underneath. That is the idea. Okay. We could do a lot of things. This is just an idea. You can draw your idea. I'm drawing my idea. If you're following along, you can draw your ideas. See, it is not that you have to precisely draw what I am drawing. This is a kind of a demonstration of the process. You can follow your own subject. You can use your own subject and follow this process. Okay. I'm drawing this just to show the process. Okay. Very casual kind of drawing. Some figures. I just wanted to make some kind of a story around here with the simple elements, not very complex elements. And maybe I will add a tree here, some large shapes for the foliages. And it's a very, very casual drawing. Okay, this drawing is in real time, as I told. So you should be able to easily catch it up and make your own drawing. And the materials that I am using, you don't have to precisely use the same material. You can use your own material. I have mentioned about the paper, and I have used a waterproof fountain pen for this. The details are in the description below. And I have used mostly Camel Artist watercolors. You can use whatever materials that you are having. You don't have to precisely grab the materials that I am using. Okay. And if you don't have the precise colors that I am using, you can change the colors. I mean, use your freedom. See, loose watercolors, loose painting is always about freedom. Okay, you should be very free while taking decisions, while executing the drawing, while executing the painting process. I mean, be free. Don't worry about the mistakes. Mistakes will keep happening, and you should have a casual kind of a mentality to get a free, loose result. Okay. If you are very conscious of getting a precise, wonderful result, then your outcome may not be that loose. Okay, you have to be free. So the process is do casually and free up your mind. So I have used some red color, some warm red color. You can use whatever red color you use. I mean, you have, or you can use other colors also if you don't want to use red. Red is one of my favorite color when it comes to painting. So I have used red. So you can use whatever color that you have. These figures are also painted red because I thought some of the lights passing through the red sheet above may get reflected on the people below. And this is the shadow area, so I am using some kind of a purple on top of the red. And you need to always look for color variation. If it is very flat, it may not be looking interesting. Now going for the foliages for the tree, and I have started with some of the edge leaves, individual leaves sort of a thing. Then I am going for larger volume of the foliage. Okay, so using the side of the brush, I am suggesting some kind of a random big shapes. Okay, so you can go for that approach. I mean, you have whatever method that you like. If you have your own way of suggesting trees, well and good, you can use that approach. But it should be kind of casual. Don't go for very precise. That is what I would suggest. I would kind of recommend. Now I think we need darker tones for the area underneath. So I am using some paints gray, blue kind of tones to the olive green so that we get darker tones. So I'm using a soft round brush with a good tip. You can use any brand. Okay. See, most of the brands that I am using is Indian brands. So if you are viewing it from outside of India, you may not get this brand. So I'm not particularly insisting on the brand names. You can use whatever brand that you have. Better if you have some kind of a decent brand that is available locally to you. And now I'm using some more paints gray and maybe a little bit of bluish kind of a mix to that. And I'm suggesting the lower portion of the tree, maybe the shadow area, maybe a little bit of red. Okay, you can see some slight color change there. So it is in the shadow area, so I don't want to make it very green. Okay, I don't know if you're getting some background noise. Please excuse me if you are getting some background noise. I don't have a soundproof room. Hope it is not a botheration to you, these background noises. Right. I think this is a kind of a scooter parked under the tree maybe. And it is fully under shadow, so you don't have to worry about the colors. Right. And yeah, I think that is enough for the scooter. And let us kind of merge everything so that we don't have to clearly define these things and the details. Okay. Let us extend this shadow to the auto rickshaw and to the figures, etc. So that everything is sort of connected. See, connecting everything kind of relieves us from the requirement of adding a lot of details. Right? Some splattering of water to create some texture. And now let us make some darker tones on the front glass of the auto rickshaw. And it's a lighter tone. I may be adding a lot of some darker tones later once this is dry. Okay, so this much is good for, I think this much is good for the front glass for now. And for the side of it, it is even darker. So we need darker paint gray for this. Okay. I think, yeah, we are getting the shape a little bit more and more clear. And I'm using a little bit of lighter gray sort of a color, lighter green sort of a color for the bottom area of the auto rickshaw. And I am trying to cover the bottom portion with a flat wash of green. And right now I am leaving it flat, and later I will be adding some tonal variations. Okay, so this is a kind of a filling of the shape. Okay, now I think I am pretty much okay with the overall shape of the auto rickshaw. And let us continue further, kind of connecting it with the rest of the shadows. Okay, the overall shape looks good now. I'm adding a little bit of details to the figures now, some dark gray for the hairs, and some more darker reds for one of these figure. And you can change the colors of these figures. Okay, you can change the figure position, the movement of the figure. You can use whatever is your choice, particularly the color, because my color choice for the figures may not be very appealing to you. Since it is a free kind of an approach, I'm just picking up whatever colors that I think are good. So I have used some cobalt green for one of the figure, and a little bit of cerulean green, and added a touch of white to that to make it little kind of a pastel kind of a color. Okay, these figures. And when you draw these figures, you should take care of the overall scale of it. Okay, I think this is good. For the lower portion of the figure, I am using Payne's gray, right? I'm pretty much happy with the overall figures and the part scooter. Since it is drawn without actual references, some of these scales might be slightly off. I think that shouldn't matter because it is a free approach and we are going for loose approach. Okay, so here I am taking a decision to add some background. In fact, I like this as it is without any background. So, but I thought let us explore some background also by suggesting some loose kind of foliage, some at the background. Okay, some foliages at the background. And I am expecting this to get little lighter. This looks a little darker at this point, but once I will smoothen up the top area and once it dries, I am expecting that it will be looking lighter. And let this continue for the right side also, and kind of suggesting some farther foliages. That's it. So that there is something in the back, something in the background. That's it. You could by all means you could avoid this particular step. Okay, the background foliages, because I was initially thinking not to put this background. Then I thought let me try it anyway. And if you think this addition of the background foliages was not a good idea, you can always discard it. Okay, if you're following along. Right, I think it is pretty okay. Only thing is that we may need little bit of details like the darks under the auto rickshaw, the shadows, the wheels. Some darker tones will be good enough for this, and I think this is fair enough. We need suggestions. We don't need precise representation. I'm pretty much happy with the way it is coming out, and some sort of accentuation to some of these colors. I'm just executing whatever ideas are coming into my mind. I'm just trying to listen to that, and I'm kind of doing a quick evaluation and then following it. Okay, some the tail lamp for the scooter. I think that made it a little bit more interesting, and we need a little bit of some tiny suggestions of something there, maybe some tables or something. Right. What else we need? I know we need to cover the faces of the figures. That I will probably do it later, and something on the ground, maybe plain white. I could have left the plain white as such for the ground. I thought I will just around the auto rickshaw I will suggest some kind of a ground. Okay, this is just some warm kind of a color, and I'm not kind of filling it throughout. And I think this much is good enough. And let us add some foam to the auto rickshaw, that green wash. Okay. I think, yeah, that is good enough. Maybe I will do some smudging. Okay, some kind of a blending. Right. For some reason, there are a lot of background noises this time. I think, yeah, this is fair enough. This is pure white, pure watercolor white. Okay. If you are against using of white in watercolors, you can stay away from this. You can avoid this step. And if you really wanted those white highlights or headlamps, you can leave white spaces using maybe what is that, masking fluid or something. But the problem with those approaches is that you are kind of doing a lot of planning, and you are targeting for some precise leaving of white spaces, and your work is likely to be less loose if you're going for that approach. So kind of you're losing some freedom if you're precisely leaving white spaces. That is what I feel. Okay. These skin tones and tail lamp, are for creating little bit more interest. And I think we are pretty much close to what can be, to a stage where we can declare this as done. Okay, I would probably say that it is already done. Maybe I'll just add some vertical pole or something here. There is already a pen drawing mark, but still I thought I will make it a little more clear. Okay. So I think you understood the process. So be free, be casual, be experimenting when you're practicing this thing. And this is not a work that you are going to display on your for an exhibition, or you're not going to sell it. That is what I am targeting for. I am targeting this for this as a free loose experiment. Okay, so go with that approach, and be ready to make mistakes, be ready to experiment. And if you continue that process, you will be really developing confidence, and your work will start becoming loose and more kind of interesting. So thank you very much for watching this video, and if you're finding value in this video, if you think this is helping you, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell notification. And you can also please consider sharing it to your artist friends so that they also can take benefit of this course. Thank you very much, and we will soon see you with another video. Bye bye.